Rise and shine, my friends. It is 8:02 on a Wednesday morning. It is February the 4th, and this is Coffee Talk. I'm meteorologist Eric Burris. Hope you're having a great start to the day. It's a beautiful morning. It's a little cool outside, but equally gorgeous. Let's go outside live, just see what's doing. There's our Tower Cam network taking you over to Port Canaveral. Temperatures around town nice and chilly. It is 44 degrees out that direction. We're sitting at about 37 for us in New Smyrna Beach, about 34 in Palm Coast, 44 degrees in Orlando, and 33 outside in Ocala. So a cool start, yes. We'll work our way into a warmer register, though, through the afternoon. So it's going to be a beautiful, beautiful day. Let's take a look at that forecast for today, shall we? Beginning with cool temperatures, but watch how quickly we rise. 66 lunchtime, 72 by 3 o'clock, and we're hanging in the 70s looking ahead to the entire afternoon. What you got going on today, my friends? Are you enjoying these warm temps? Unfortunately, it's going to be a somewhat limited run of warmer temperatures. We're going to be dropping looking ahead to tomorrow as well. So it is what it is, I suppose. One of those things. Good morning. Let's see. We got Debbie in here. We've got Mickey over on YouTube. Bruce, good morning to you. Hope you're doing well. Jan, good morning. Good morning. Let's look at our temperatures for the day ahead today. Temperatures climbing to 72 or so in Orlando. How great is that? 70 degrees in New Smyrna Beach. We're climbing to about 71 in Ocala, 72 degrees in Wildwood. So this is just gorgeous. This is just gorgeous. Nautilus over on YouTube says, I'm bringing my kids over to Epic Universe today. It's going to be a great day for it. Chris is over on Twitter. Good morning. Good morning. I mean, this is good. This is good. This isn't going to stay, though. It's important to note that we're already watching our next weather feature. It's going to be a cold front. This cold front is going to end up sneaking in, and as it does so, it's going to end up bringing with it showers and then a wind shift. And the problem is that wind shift is going to end up dragging down those temperatures again. So looking ahead to our Thursday afternoon temperatures, and it's not the 70s anymore. We're 60 in Orlando. We're 59 in Leesburg. We're 57 degrees in Palm Coast. So yeah, we've got some changes coming, right? So let's put it all together. Okay, let's just look at our 7-day forecast and just kind of get an idea. So for today, 72 degrees does it. For tomorrow, we'll wake up milder. Temperatures are going to be hanging in the 50s for most of us, some 40s. Tomorrow's high temperature is totally different. 60 degrees is going to be our high temperature. Yeah. Good times. Good times. Then we drop back off. Friday, another chilly one. Friday afternoon, staying cool, but then notice Saturday, Sunday, Monday. There we go. Now we're starting to warm those temperatures back up. We're doing better. We're doing better. We're doing better. Kara over on YouTube says, I was at Magic Kingdom yesterday, cold in the morning and night, but beautiful daytime temps. Well, and that's kind of where we're at. And this weather pattern is very, very nice during the day, but it's a little cooler in the morning. Mr. Tim, good morning to you, buddy. Good morning, good morning. Let's see here. Anna says, Tim Johnson, good morning. Yeah, Tim in Antarctica. Can't wait to see more from you. What time is it there? Like, when you're at the junction of all time zones, how does that work? Jeannie Rowan says, I like this soothing Eric in studio voice. Hey, you know, maybe I can have another career reading audiobooks or something. David, good morning to you. Hope you're doing well. Jeannie Rowan, 73 is the perfect temp. Don't make me fight you. No, I kind of agree with you, if I'm honest with you. I think these temperatures are great. Tiffany, did you see Tim's pictures and videos? I've seen a couple. Yeah, I mean, they're fantastic. It's gorgeous. So nice. So nice. So nice. Mm. You guys good? Oh, so pretty. So pretty. Jeannie Rowan yesterday in Antarctica. I saw, well, I've seen, he sent me a couple as well. Tim says time zone changes every 12 minutes for Tim down there in frozen. Right, like as he's cruising the water, it's like, oh, there's another time zone. Oh, there's another time zone. Victoria is asking, so can we uncover our plants? So I would say not yet. Just because that Friday morning, let's look at our Friday morning temperatures, okay? 38 in the metro, but notice that Friday morning elsewhere is going to be around freezing, right? The Villages, Wildwood, Ocala, it's going to be cold enough, probably going to need to monitor another freeze. So for that point, I would say, Victoria, honestly, let's just keep everything taken care of one more time. Tim says the ship has stayed on Argentina's time zone as we sailed. All right, that makes sense. That makes sense. Paula says weather looks good. Yeah. Mickey, do you think we could look at the BSR today? It's been a while since we last looked. So the short answer is no, and I'll explain to you why. So you may notice Coffee Talk looks a little different. Cindy says it's nice to get together in the mornings for coffee talk. I get it. So you may notice that the graphics on Coffee Talk look a little, it's a very subtle difference. Particularly this. This is going to be the biggest difference for you. So I'm working on a social media toolkit for the company. And a part of that is going to be the ability to go red, right? Or add severe weather chip, all of these different things. So this is going to be not just for Wesh, but it's going to be for the entire company. So this is my first Coffee Talk using the new social media toolkit, seeing what we like, seeing what we don't like with it. So I don't have the BSR is one of those things. It's a very specifically built product, and I don't have it in this collection. Sorry. What do you think of this double box? This is not going to be any different for you. This is new. It shows my social media handles. I don't think I'm going to end up using this particular scene much, but for most of it, it's not going to look much different. This is going to be the one that looks different because it's not as narrow of me, and the weather graphics are a little smaller. So curious what you guys think of it. But that said, I don't have BSR. I'm sorry. The wind, Tim said, did a fantastic job of uncovering my plants already. Yeah. Sorry. Patty says, I just turned my 9-year-old grandson. My just turned 9-year-old grandson, Patty says, got to skip school today as one of his presents has a surprise of going to his first horseback ride with his mom and dad. That sounds so fun. Man, that's cool. Steven says you are frozen. Shouldn't be. No drop frames. No dropped frames. Chris says looks great. Okay. So Terry's asking, so Eric, did we inspire some new creativity? No, another TV station. Well, we needed to build, we built a graphics package. Now we needed to build the social media toolkit. So that's what it is. Debbie says we need the BSR. Change it back. We need the cool kids. We need to be the cool kids. I'll get there. Matt says we've been with you since your kitchen. You think the BSR not being pretty affects us? Hey, Matt, I might have a job for you, by the way, buddy. A friend of mine has an airplane that he's working on selling over in Melbourne. And he's like, do you have a photographer? And I said, I have a photographer. So I need to connect with you. Let's see here. Any good national parks or monuments around this time of year? I feel like all of them are. I don't know. At least that's the way I look at it. So anyway, we've got that little bit, we'll come back to this. We've got that little bit of a cool down, okay? I got to get used to where all this stuff is on this new toolkit. We've got that little cool down for our Thursday and our Friday. And then notice Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. I mean, things are looking wonderful. Just so nice, right? We get back into the 70s. And Monday, Tuesday, we continue to get warmer. It's going to be gorgeous. And as a matter of fact, looking ahead, let's just look at the raw American GFS model. Look where we go afterward. It's not just stopping in the mid 70s. We go to the upper 70s. We get into the 80s. And at least The GFS model says no cold fronts, my friend. We're just going to keep warming. Now, that said, I do want to point out, just for transparency here, the European is showing a cold front kind of at the end, right? The European on Daytona 500 Sunday shows a little bit of a drop in temperature. So it's going to depend on, what plays out. But either way, here's the overall idea. When we just look at the two models for next week into Daytona 500, we're looking mild. The European just wants to start dropping those temps a little bit getting into the 500. So we'll see how it plays out. Either way, though, it's beautiful. It's just beautiful. Can we feel like Hawaii for 2 weeks? Amy's asking. Hey, that wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. Jeannie Rowan says, oh, geez, when do we hit 90? When is the first? I'll have to look. I also need to get the TV hit set up here, so stand by a second. I need to get my next TV hit built. Let's use MCO. Yeah, we'll do that. All right. Average first 90-degree day. Now, that's a good question. Let's see here. First last dates. Maximum temperature greater than or equal to 90. Period beginning there. Okay. All right. And MCO. All right. You ready? The average first. Okay. The average first 90-degree day. Anybody want to take a guess? I don't have it in a graphic yet, but it's at least worth a discussion. Everyone knows sun and fun. Wait, what did it say? Your comments are going by. Is the first 90? Yeah, and Matt says everyone knows sun and fun is the first 90-degree day. All right, so then let me ask you, everybody. What is usually our first 90-degree day? What date? What say you, friends? Anybody? I'll wait. I'm curious if anybody gets it right. Or in the ballpark. So Debbie says May. Betty says early April. Frank, my brother, says early April. Okay. Victoria, early. Okay, May. So the answer is the mean date, April 6th. So actually, y'all were not far off, at all. Which is, that's impressive. That's genuinely impressive. The minimum, the earliest, was the 15th of November. So actually, interestingly enough, kind of in the ballpark there. I don't mind it. Karen says no. Well, look, we're not there. It's not even in the forecast. All right, I need to look at the rundown and see when I hit. Stand by, people. All right, marine life story and then us. Okay, all right. Wow, Debbie says I was way off. Debbie says April 6th. Yikes, that's early. Climatologically speaking, though, it's not that early. At the key, got it. All right, let's go do some weather. That's the clicker. Okay. Tower cam to Doug. It's a different world now. You just get to see the green screen at this point, frankly. I had to trust that my kids weren't going to friend other people, and that I had to go after they played, again and again, checking who are these friends, who are these people, and are you sure this is that person who says? All right, let's see here. So many Debbies here today. Debbie says, Jana says, a coffee talk cruise still sounds good to me. That would be cool. All right.
All right, time now, 8:17. We're talking about that forecast out there. You got lots of waves there going on there.
Right. Yeah, so this is just college for me. Like study the maps, children. All right, today we warm into the 70s. It's going to be gorgeous. Looking ahead, though, to tomorrow, there's another dip of the jet stream. In other words, that cold air is funneled all the way down to us. So temperatures are going to take a drop tomorrow. That lingers through Friday. And then Saturday, Sunday, the jet stream lifts to the north. The air starts to get warmer and we bring up those temperatures. So looking at the overall forecast here, today, it may be a cool start, but we're back into the 70s for the afternoon. Then for tomorrow morning, we'll have some showers, particularly for the early risers. I'm thinking 5 to about 7 in the metro, 7, 8, 9 o'clock working over to the East Coast communities and on out. Then once that clears, we start to bring down the temperatures. So look at the 7-day forecast here for today. Bright sunshine, 72 degrees will be our high temperature. Tomorrow morning, mild, 51. Only 60 though for the afternoon. So that's going to be a noticeable change. Friday morning, not the coldest we've seen, not by a long shot. Still going to be chilly though. Coat weather, okay? Friday afternoon, 60s. It'll be cool. Then we'll clear out. Look how nice that Saturday, Sunday forecast is. High temperatures in the 70s. And Monday, Tuesday, we keep getting warmer and warmer. As a matter of fact, if we look at the American GFS model, we're finding that through next week, we continue into the upper 70s. And as a matter of fact, there's Valentine's Day, the 14th. Here's 83 degrees. American GFS model for Sunday, the 15th, that's Daytona 500 Sunday, 83 degrees. This is where the models vary because the European brings another front in here on Sunday. The GFS just says, no, we're going to go straight through to nearly 90 degrees. We'll have to see how that plays out. We talked about this on Coffee Talk. The average first 90-degree day is April 6th. The earliest 90-degree day on record in Orlando is late February. So we'll see how it plays out. Either way, we're ending the cold pattern for a bit. So enjoy the cool while we have it. There's a look over to iDrive in the tourist district. There's the convention center. We're at 45 degrees in Orlando. It's 38 in Wildwood, 36 in Ocala, 39 for us in DeLand. Forecast today, lots of sunshine. We do add clouds late in the day. As temperatures work into the lower 70s, it'll feel great. Then the clouds bring our next frontal boundary, okay? So 10 o'clock, the clouds approach. Notice 5, 6, 7 o'clock. That's the timeline when all the rains move through our area. And as it happens, it gives us some slick roadways, and then we cool down. So Megan, you and I are going to be on wet road patrol, I think, tomorrow morning. All right. Ugh. Janice says I'm ready for a vacation. Yeah, can I be ready for a vacation too? I actually need to put in for some vacation time. Mickey says 19-year anniversary of the terrible Groundhog Day tornadoes was yesterday. Never going to forget that night. I won't either. I will never forget it. Wow, 19 years. That is shocking to me. With all these crazy weather swings, Terry says, you have to wonder what hurricane season will be like. I know. I'm working on the hurricane forecast. It's not time to really get into the nitty gritty on it, but yeah, not a fan. Tim says we could Margaritaville Islander from Tampa goes to Progresso, which is near Campeche. Wouldn't that be? Listen, that would be the most us cruise, right? That would be the most us. Oh my gosh, so funny. Fox Savannah Cat on YouTube says, I know I'm in the minority here, but I like the cold temperatures. We're all allowed to like our own thing. Nothing wrong with that. Stacy's asking on Facebook, will Ocala get rain? Yes. So let's pull up Futurecast here and let's get into that because we haven't yet. All right. So, and I'm going to bring it full screen because I want you to see this as clear as possible. So through the day today, gorgeous. Notice later tonight, that's where we start to get the clouds rolling in. 9, 10 o'clock, showers. So midnight through about 2 a.m., Ocala, Flagler, you'll be getting those showers. 4 a.m. getting into the metro. There's 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. We'll be tracking some rains in the metro, exiting 7, 8, 9, 10 o'clock, and then clearing. Look at how much beautiful weather we have there. Oh my gosh, that's gorgeous. That's going to be gorgeous. So yes, to answer your question, yes, Ocala, And frankly, a pretty good amount of us, at least, should get in on those showers. Not looking at anything strong, which is the good news. Let me get my next TV hit set up. But yes, we're definitely going to be tracking those showers. And it's going to be tomorrow morning for the commute. Of course, we'll be here tracking it for you. Megan and Mac, you'll have the roadways handled. I'll have you covered in the radar department as well. Of course, Stacy, my pleasure. Janice says, found a frozen frog in my backyard the other day and put him out in the sun, and he recovered. What? If it was a bufo toad, you got to... Nikki Smith on YouTube says, Jamie, he can't do the BSR right now. He's setting up a new social media interface and the BSR isn't ready yet. Yeah, sorry. Literally, it's called... So the graphics package is called D25, Digrid 25. D25 Burris test. Like it literally says on the computer screen, Burris test. Yeah, good times. Is my video frozen? What's the deal there? Why is that the case? Is that a problem on my side? Hold on. Stand by. If I hit this and I'm going to refresh. Maybe. Okay. See, we're experimenting together. Okay. I don't know why. I don't know what happened there. Listen, we're doing the things. We're doing the things. All right. You guys have any questions, comments, concerns? Yeah. There's going to be some growing pains with stuff. We'll figure it out. You guys have any questions, comments, concerns, anything at all? Are we good? Yeah. Put him out in the sun. Oh, the computer. Yeah, put the social media toolkit out in the sun. Jeannie Rowan says you're blurry now. I know. Well, that's once I have to reestablish. So I'm running Coffee Talk today off of the work computer. So I'm using my laptop to feed my camera to the work computer, and my work computer is the control room. Usually I run the control room off of the work computer and I bring the weather output to the laptop. So we're doing it a little differently today, but I'm building it on the Windows system. That way I can distribute it to everybody, and then I'll take and rebuild everything on the Mac to build it for myself. I digress. Okay. All right. Questions, comments, concerns, everybody? Are we good? Are we good? Nope. Good. Have a blessed Wednesday, people. Thanks, Eric. Jeannie Rowan, my pleasure. All right, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out for Coffee Talk. Since I've got it, I might as well hit the button, right? Like you can always check me out on the Facebook, on the Twitter. I guess I probably should find a YouTube link to throw in there too. Too much. You're hurting my brain, Eric. I know, Debbie. I know. Nikki says, highly recommend Tim Johnson if you're looking to book travel. I've booked 2 cruises with him so far, and he's amazing. I've never booked travel with him, Nikki, but I can tell you, he's just a good guy. So I can't wait to hear the full. You know what? We're going to have to get Tim, I hope it's okay. We're going to have to get you to do a Coffee Talk drive-through and see how Antarctica was. Okay. Can we do that? Thanks, buddy. All right. Be the sunshine in someone else's day, everyone. Thank you so much for hanging out for Coffee Talk. I will see you on TV and tomorrow.